Ukraine is a country with a 1,000-year history, from its philosophers and scientists to its world-class athletes and cultural figures in every field of expertise. It is a country of culture, of unique inventions, of beautiful cities, and internationally beloved cuisine. It is a country of melodic language and sincerity of soul. We are kind to our friends, and we want only to build a better future together. We have so many things to defend, and we will never give up our land, our culture, our history.
My name is Danila. I am Ukrainian. I know everyone throughout the world is interested in Ukraine and our destiny now, wants to know more about our history. So in these high important days for my country, I want to tell you about the beginning of the 20th century, the Ukrainian National Republic. Second half of the 19th century, modernism is prevailing throughout the world. In Ukraine, it's the beginning of the golden age of the classics in literature, philosophy, architecture, history, and art. However, Ukrainians are divided between two countries, the Russian Empire and Austria-Hungary. World War I has turned Ukraine into a long-lasting forefront of the military actions, ruined territories, destroyed cities and villages, thousands of refugees. Ukrainians were also forced to fight against each other for someone else's interests. Would this be something a single nation would want for themselves? Of course not. We were pursuing to have a state of our own, which would protect us. And that moment came. The Russian monarchy was overthrown in a coup, and precisely at that moment the Ukrainian National Revolution took place in Kiev. Strongly leading on values of democracy and human rights, our forefathers founded the Ukrainian National Republic, UNR. Although there was a new government in the Russian Empire, what has not changed is their desire to rule over Ukraine. In 1918, Ukraine proclaimed independence. For the first time in many centuries, we were recognized by many other states across the world. In the meantime, Austria-Hungary has also failed. The Ukrainian people who were part of it formed a democratic state, the West Ukrainian People's Empire. And what a joy it was when on January 22, 1919, the Act of Union, uniting the two states into one, was signed at Sofia Square in Kiev. This day is still celebrated in Ukraine as the Day of Unity. Back in the days, our territory was practically the same as the territory of Ukraine today. Based on the principles of the post-World War I war, each new state received the territories populated by one nation, sharing the same language by their democratic choice. And that is exactly how the Ukrainian and freedom-loving territory from Carpathian Mountains to Donbass and from Police to Tatavria was at that time. In Crimea, the native nations of Tatars worked closely with the Ukrainian democratic movement. Unfortunately, Russia's desire for aggressive expansion has not decreased, even though they were ruled by communists now. By means of betrayal, manipulation, military power and threatening, Soviet Russia took over Ukraine, turning it into one of its republics. Back in the days, we could not reach out to Europe and the United States for help in resisting the annexation. The terrible consequences of World War I helped weaken the West, and they had to recognize the occupation of Ukraine. The multiple attempts of Ukraine to free ourselves during 1970s and 1920s have become a remarkable part of our history. The Ukrainian Revolution became a final step in forming the Ukrainian nation of today. All the future fights and aspirations of the Ukrainians had only one goal: independence. We won't let take anyone that independence, which we fought for so hard, away from us.